Chapter 13. The Room of the Kings. "Which way?" whispered Pete, his head darting from side to side. They were standing in a long, candle-lit hallway.
"Left," replied Charlie. "Then we need to take the third door on the right."
They rushed down the hallway.
1, 2, 3,
Charlie called out as he counted the doors. Charlie came to a halt when he arrived at the third door. He grasped the handle and quietly pulled it open, revealing a long, winding staircase. Suddenly, they heard footsteps coming from down the hall. Pete and Charlie glanced at each other and took a deep breath.
"Let's go," said Charlie.
They shot through the door and up the stairs. The staircase curved and twisted. They were breathing heavily but knew they couldn't stop. After hundreds of steps, they finally arrived at the top, puffing, panting, and leaning heavily on their knees. When they straightened up, they gasped. "This must be the Room of the Kings!" exclaimed Pete. The room was full of huge statues of all the kings who had ruled Featherland. The Robin King, the Swan King, the Pelican King, and many more. Charlie brushed his wing over the statue of the Seagull King. It was covered in a thick layer of dust. All of them were. His eyes darted to a pile of rubble. On the top lay the stone head of Albert, the Eagle King. There was a large crack running through it.
"Look what Claudius did to King Albert's statue," muttered Charlie.
"More evidence that he's to blame for Albert vanishing," replied Pete, shaking his head. As they wove through the stone figures, Charlie's and Pete's eyes locked onto something that stood against the back wall. It was huge. It was scary. It was a golden statue of Claudius the Crow King. Charlie and Pete both gulped.
"Okay, the last instruction,"
said Charlie, pulling the note from his pocket. His wing shook with fear.
"The writing is smudged. I can't tell what it says, apart from the word beak."
They stared up at the statue's huge golden beak. "I'll check it out," said Pete nervously. Charlie nodded. Pete took a deep breath and leapt into the air. He grasped the golden beak with both wings and pulled. The huge, shiny beak began to open. Screech! The room shook as the statue began to move, shuddering along the wall. Rumble! Pete lost his grip. He was so nervous he forgot how to fly and went crashing to the ground. Thud! Charlie gasped as the moving golden Crow King revealed a secret door.